604, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. Starting you off at 26 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio on Government Street. We have got a great Monday show for you. Man, it's hopefully, this is the week where things start to dial down, right? Has it just been, is it just me, or like the holidays have not kicked in for anybody yet? It's just go, go, go. All right. We got a lot of ground to cover this morning. We are going to have our Medical Monday segment. We are going to talk with Patrick Robinson from LABI. He had a great sit down with Lee Zeldin from the EPA. Of course, we'll cover everything under the sun with Moon. And have a number of other great conversations as the morning wears on. But we start off with top stories and trending. Let's go. Two Baton Rouge Christmas parades went off without a hitch yesterday. Downtown was the inaugural First Responders Parade. At the very same time, the 29th annual Jones Creek Area Business Association's Christmas on the Creek rolled up Jones Creek with over 70 units and Garrett Graves as the Grand Marshal. Wreaths across America. Whoop, hang on. Sorry about that. Wreaths across America held ceremonies at several cemeteries across Louisiana on Saturday to remember and honor veterans through the laying of remembrance wreaths. The ceremonies included the placement of wreaths on the graves of our country's fallen heroes and the act of saying each veteran's name out loud. Ceremonies took place at several locations across the state. The Baton Rouge National Cemetery was among them.
Number 3.
The Louisiana Fire Chiefs Association announced funeral arrangements for former St. George Fire Chief Chucky Albert on Sunday. Albert's funeral will be held on December 16th. That would roughly be tomorrow at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Zachary. Visitations from 9 a.m. till noon. Mass will begin at noon.
Number 2.
Multiple protests against immigration and customs enforcement and border patrol operations took place around the capital area Saturday. One of those protests took place in Gonzales, with protesters meeting in front of Ideal Market, where border patrol agents detained an individual several days prior. In Baton Rouge, protesters rallied in front of the state capitol building, calling for transparency from officials.
Number 1.
The Baton Rouge Police Department responded to a shooting that left one man injured on Saturday near Gus Young Avenue. According to authorities, the shooting occurred around 4:30 p.m. near Ragusa's Deli. One man was injured after being struck in the foot. The victim the victim is in stable condition.
There's a look at today's top stories. Now let's find out what's trending.
What you got this morning?
All right. The person of interest that was arrested in connection with the shooting at Brown University was questioned and released, which means the suspect is still at large.
So, went in shooting up a classroom, 2 people dead, 9 injured. One of those injured already released from the hospital. That's good news. There's one person in critical but stable condition. Everyone else is in stable condition. But like shot up a classroom during a finals exam?
Yep. Did you see the video? I think what was up. Oh my gosh. So it was on TikTok of all things. And of course, and it was all these kiddos, I guess, huddled underneath some sort of classroom desk, and you could see them just shaking, and somebody started filming. And then that's when the police came in. And I know.
What's that balance of like, we're going to die, I'm going to go viral.
Let's start filming.
I
know. I know. All right. Director actor Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead Sunday at a Los Angeles home owned by Reiner, according to a law enforcement official briefed on the investigation and speaking on the condition of anonymity. I can't say that word.
Anonymity.
Okay.
All right. Remaining anonymous. How about that? So this story is bonkers. They were stabbed to death. The family member has been questioned.
Yes. And I had to research what that word was because it's been a while, to protect their privacy. So that, at first I was like, okay, would it have been a murder-suicide? But the more I'm reading into it, like you said.
The family member being questioned. I don't know which family member.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. On to entertainment, pop culture. Only 1 in 10 of us had a great year, end quote. According to a new survey from Talker Research, they spoke with about 2,000 Americans and found that the rest of us said it was either bad, awful, which about 39% admitting this year was just okay.
Isn't that our nature, though, just to say
Right.
everything's terrible? Like, that's
Right.
just where we're at right now.
I know.
It's,
Ever since COVID, I'm telling you, ever since 2020, everybody's
you
like, the
think,
world's going bad.
you think it's that recent?
I think
I
so.
don't know. I just think we have a propensity to bitch. We do.
We do.
We just complain. Like, think about these terms, okay? Your kid brings home a test.
Right.
Okay. And there was 10 questions on the test. They got 9 questions right. What's the first thing you're going to ask them?
Why'd you get that one wrong?
Right. What did you get wrong?
I am that mom.
No,
You're right.
but I'm not pointing you out. I'm just saying this is all of us. This is what we do. This is who we are as humans. So, like, if a million things go right and one thing goes wrong, what are we going to fixate on? What are we going to focus on?
That one thing.
That one thing. Yeah.
That's true.
So
I guess I feel like the world's just going to, I can't say that word.
yeah.
S-H-I-T.
Yep.
Since 2020.
Yeah. No, it's gotten exponentially worse.
Yeah.
But yeah. We are at 6:11 at Talk 107.3 FM. Due up for our first break. Before we take that break, though, got to remind you about, our good friends at Mathern's, specifically the Mathern's at Kenilworth. You know where to find that. 7355 Highland Road. Coming up on December 22nd, 5 to 6 p.m., the Coca-Cola Holiday Caravan makes its return to Mathern's. There's going to be a hot chocolate bar. Get your pictures taken with Santa. They'll have coloring sheets for the kids, a free cookie. You can make reindeer food and get to see the big Coca-Cola holiday truck. It's coming to the Mathern's Market at Kenilworth, old school Kenilworth supermarket. Mathern's Market at Kenilworth. It's coming up on December 22nd, 5 to 6 p.m. So if you missed out on pictures with Santa, wherever you normally get pictures with Santa, this could be kind of the your last opportunity to do so, as we will be closing in on Christmas Day. So December 22nd, 5 p.m. at Mathern's. Yeah. Did I print this thing 3 times? You get that Kellen Moore cut that I sent you? The Kellen. Okay, we'll start with the Saints. .616 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is sports time, and we're gonna space sports out over two different segments because I want to give basketball its own segment on the back end. Let's talk football right now. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a winning streak. It's two in a row. The New Orleans Saints put together back-to-back wins within the division, no less, beating the Carolina Panthers yesterday, 20-17. Your final score there. From New Orleans' standpoint, I don't know if Tyler Shuck is the franchise quarterback, but Tyler Shuck, in the time that he's been out there, has done absolutely nothing to make us think that he's not. Yesterday, Shuck was 24 of 32 for 272 yards and one touchdown. He also ran the ball 8 times for 32 yards. That's 4 yards a carry. He was absolute money when the Saints needed it. Slow start yesterday. Did not put up any points in the first quarter, although Carolina seemed to have the ball the entire quarter. But as the game wore on, Shuck got better and better. And like I said, 24 32 for 272. That is a good day. That is a good ball game. No interceptions, which is probably bigger than the one touchdown. The one touchdown coming late to Chris Olave, who scored after Devon Vele went out the ball game. Olave ended up with 6 catches for 85 yards on the day. Vele, by the way, is proven to be worth the 4th-round pick we gave up for him. He had 5 catches for 69 yards. And on the ground, still no Alvin Kamara, but Devin Neal yesterday was 7 carries, 28 yards, so that's also 4 yards a carry. That's worthwhile as a running back. We're starting to see some pieces, not for this year, obviously. 4 wins on the season. They're 4-10 right now. The Saints are eliminated from playoff contention. But what we're looking for out of this year's team is the pieces of the puzzle for next year. When you end the season, what are you targeting in the draft to start to rebuild an actual roster here? And it's looking more and more, and I'm not ready to call it yet, but looking more and more like Tyler Shuck could be the guy, which would allow the Saints to focus on other spots. Here is Coach Kellen Moore talking about Shuck.
Yeah, I think just his steadiness. His steadiness is really special. I think it's really important to play the quarterback position in this league. There's a lot of hard downs, and so you're not going to convert every single one of them. Your ability to kind of go from one to the next and take advantage of the opportunities presented. Again, you made some big-time plays in this game.
It's quite possible the Saints could end the season on a 5-game win streak. They've got the Jets next, and then they're at the Titans, and then they'll close out the season at the Falcons. Moving over to high school football, we've got 6 new state champions all crowned over the weekend. 2 teams, so I shouldn't say new ones because 2 teams did defend their titles in the Prep Classic over the weekend. Edna Carr won their 2nd straight championship. They beat St. Aug 49-14. The win also runs the Cougars' winning streak up to 27 games. After the game, Carr head coach Bryce Brown said what his team has accomplished these past 2 years, nothing short of incredible.
It's not easy playing at a school like Carr where the standard is very, very rigorous for these young men. These guys haven't lost a game in 2 years, going undefeated 2 years in a row, winning the state title, and that speaks to their character.
Here comes the Fox Business Report. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Thank you. And good morning, Christy. I assume you're already up and listening. Well, I know you're up, but are you listening? What's wrong? Oh, it's fine. That's well, it might just be the battery in the remote's dead. You don't know. All right, let's get a look at that traffic right now. And wow, actually, things are looking pretty good, as you would expect to start off uh, this week. The closer we get to Christmas, the fewer people are going to be on the roads for the normal morning commute. I-12 westbound, you are going to find some volume in between Range Avenue and the Amite River. After that, it picks right back up again. I-10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish looks great right now. 10 eastbound coming back across from West Baton Rouge Parish is wide open, as is 110. Surface streets, there's only one accident to report, and it's already been moved off the roadway. In fact, it's from about an hour ago. It's way up Howell at Harding. So other than that, streets of Baton Rouge are looking great to start your week. Hopefully we can keep it that way. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 173 Traffic Center. Six 24, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Once again, I know we touched on it briefly, but I wanted to send another thank you to the Louisiana Association of Public Charter Schools for having me out at their annual conference on Thursday of last week. And we're going to try and make that an annual thing. The information was fantastic. The work being done in the charter schools around Louisiana has been just remarkable. Some of the things that they're tackling, some of the things that they're taking on that you're not going to see you're not going to see in the traditional school setting. They're able to be more nimble. We heard the word autonomy probably 1,000 times in 3 hours, and it rings true. The more autonomy you give someone, you know the old Bill Parcells quote that I like to lean on a lot. If you want someone to cook the meal, you got to let them shop for the groceries. Well, that's what they're able to do with the public charter schools. So thanks again to the Louisiana Association of Public Charter Schools for having me out on Thursday. All right, busy weekend for LSU basketball. We're going to start on the women's side before moving to the men's side. The women were in the exact same arena, actually, as the men. LSU, Kim Mulkey's team played in the Smoothie King Center on Saturday, taking on Louisiana Tech, number 5 in the nation. LSU 11-0 now on the season after beating the Lady Texters. It was a tight first half, actually. Well, a tight first quarter. Louisiana Tech was actually out in front 19-17 at the end of the first quarter. And then LSU, like they do, they turn it like a switch. The second quarter was 22-11, and then 22-14, and then 26-17, which, if you add those all together, is 87-61. LSU, what I'm loving about this team the most is you're seeing different players every single game step up to give you the performance of the game. Michaela Williams had 19 on the night. She was phenomenal. Flau'jae Johnson, 13 points, 10 boards. Double-double from Flau'jae. Kate Koval had 13 points. That's coming off of her 20-point performance from the game before. And also in double figures, Malaysia Fulwiley had 10. Now come back out the next game, you might see Zakiya Johnson scoring double figures. You might see Jada Richard scoring double figures, or Grace Knox. It's the fact that this team has so much depth is what's going to be their strength as they continue to move forward, continue to plow through into, they're not the Southeastern Conference play yet. But as they move towards that, that's what you're going to see is Kim Mulkey having the ability to lean on depth and not going to have to, borrow as many minutes from girls on the front end to where they're worn out on the back end. Up next for LSU's women, they're going to play tomorrow at 11 a.m. So programming note, the last half hour of Moon and all of Brian Kilmeade will be preempted tomorrow because tomorrow is Morgan State, which, by the way, this is the field trip game. I encourage you to tune into this game for this reason alone. The Maravich Assembly Center will be packed with it's either third or fourth graders. I'm not sure which grade goes. I think it's third. But yeah, is yours going, Brittany?
Yes.
Well,
yeah. Yep. going. Mine, sorry. But yes, I'm going on a field trip. That's why Kate is coming in to produce the 8 o'clock hour because I am the chaperone for Basis Matera. Speaking of charter schools.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going.
Okay, so this is an experience like no other. Do you have earplugs?
No.
Prepare yourself.
And I think my son's on the border for autism, like with loud noises. So I definitely have to bring his headphones.
Prepare him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because that is it. When I tell you it comes through the radio at a fever pitch,
Ooh,
it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But it's one of the greatest things ever, though. I absolutely love basketball, and I love sharing the love of basketball. So when you hear all those kids taking in the game just for the game's sake, that's
oh,
it's beautiful.
So I'm going to be in for a treat.
Yes,
love
you
it.
are. A very, very loud treat, but a treat nonetheless. So tomorrow at 11 versus Morgan State, you'll hear it right here on Talk 107.3 FM. We've got just over a minute to go before we hit the news. Within that minute, let's take a look at what LSU men's basketball did on Saturday night, handling SMU, their most impressive win of the season so far, 89-77, your final score. Couple of the highlights from the game. Let's see what we can actually squeeze in here. I want to start off with Pablo Tamba had one heck of a game. In fact, early on, here's a great putback dunk.
McKinnon steps to his left, fires a three, and won't go.
Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry, that was 1.5. You had started with 1.3.
This is 1.3. Tamba.
McKinnon steps to his left, fires a three, and won't go. But coming in with another slam on a putback is Pablo Tamba. And it's 18-16 Tigers. Tamba's come to play tonight. He's got 4.
Two poor blockouts by SMU. LSU made them pay for both.
Chris Blair and John Brady on the call on the LSU Sports Radio Network. No, I heard McKinnon's name. He only missed one three-pointer the whole night. That was it. Here was Max McKinnon nailing what was, I believe he had, I want to say he was 6 of 7 from three-point range.
10:41 to go, first half. McKinnon catch and shoot 3. Yes! Another bingo pest product three-pointer, his third of the night. We got time called as it appears SMU has an injured player.
6 of 7 on the night for McKinnon. LSU men, I tell you what, we got news. We got to hit news. Let's go. No. This is Friday's news. Yeah, I believe when they send it over, it's auto-adjusted. So whatever that text was that Michelle sent out yesterday, we're probably going to have to ingest the news on our own. Yes, at 7:30. If you go to LRN's news call, there should be a guarantee page. So go from the news call back out to the audio, and under audio there should be a guarantee page. There should be a 6:30 and a 7:30 news, but 7:30 is not going to be in yet. When you see the date update on a 7:30, then you need to ingest it into its proper cart number. Oh, Facebook Live. Need to get y'all rolling here because we're going to do our Moral Dilemma Monday coming up at 6:50. The question today is, should HR turn a blind eye to the company Christmas party? / tell me your craziest company Christmas party story. That's everybody's seen something. You know, a place where I used to work, they would send a party bus down to the French Quarter. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I heard all about it.
Oh, those went sideways fast. Problem is that so I was still part-time when they did that, so I didn't get to go. By the time I was full-time, they nixed it.
I know. Oh, I know. Well, and that was back in Murphy's, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, well, yeah. I'll be right back.
A very cold start to the day, but at least sunny skies are expected. Highs will struggle to near 50 degrees. Another cold night as lows dip near 30 under clear skies. More sunshine planned for Tuesday with a nice warm-up starting. Expect highs near 60. Southerly breezes kick back in for the midweek with partly cloudy skies Wednesday with highs near 70. We'll stay in the upper 60s and low 70s for the rest of the week with minimal rain chances and should stay warm this weekend too. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker with your Storm Station forecast, WBRZ, Channel 2.
637 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. My apologies, y'all. We've been experiencing some technical difficulties over the weekend. And one of those technical difficulties was it put Friday's news right back in the mix right there. So, yes, we are aware that we just aired an older newscast. We're aware that we're working to efforting to fix it for 7:30 when the next Louisiana Radio Network news rolls around. Yeah, we've seen some glitches like that over the weekend. So, a couple of bugs in the system, as it were. We have got, let's see, 638 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. It is 26 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge and feels every bit as much as 26 degrees. We got a lot of ground to cover this morning. Coming up in our next hour, of course, we're going to have Medical Monday coming your way. And today for Medical Monday, we're going to talk with Dr. Vincent Shaw. This is one of those ones where let's just put it this way. The not Knicks, but the everyday injuries that you experience in life can cross the Venn diagram with those that you see in sports, right? Sports medicine is, we often associate it with like the best athletes in the world. You see the tent go up on the sideline at the football games and whatnot. Well, a lot of those same things happen to us, just not, trying to outrun a defensive end. Instead, it's, trying to mow your lawn. Same thing, right? Yeah. Well, we're going to talk with Dr. Vincent Shaw in our next hour about a few of those nuggets, if you will. Also, the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry had a great sit down with Lee Zeldin, the head of the EPA. We're going to talk with Patrick Robinson from LABI about that cross section of business working with the environment, business working for the environment, not those two things being, at a constant opposition. So that's all coming up next hour. Hey, before we dive into our next topic real quick, got to remind you about the folks over at Neurojust. Neurojust.com is the website. Neurojust. Neurojust.com. What do they do at Neurojust? Well, if you're battling anxiety or depression and you've been treatment resistant, you need to give them a look. They specialize in something called transcranial magnetic stimulation. That is basically, here's the oversimplified definition, okay? They put this helmet on your head that has magnetic pulses that target the areas of the brain that affect mood. So if you don't like the way you feel on antidepressants, if you don't like the prescription drugs, if you've seen diminishing returns or, just straight up don't like them, give Neurojust a look. If the sit-down, talk-it-out therapy hasn't taken hold, give Neurojust a look. Those who are treatment resistant are the most likely to, see returns, some sort of, if not on full remission, then some sort of response to TMS therapy. Learn more at neurojust.com. So, and I'm grabbing this audio from our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network. The state legislature going to have a little more money in its coffers than first anticipated. The Revenue Estimating Conference increased its tax and fee collection projections for the rest of the fiscal year and next fiscal year. Melinda DeLatte, the research director for PAR, the Public Affairs Research Council of Louisiana, says that effectively closes the budget gap that they were working on. Cut 7.
Basically, the legislature and the governor, if they want to continue doing all the programs and services and funding everything that is currently ongoing, they will now have the money to do it.
And so it's minor adjustments overall by the Revenue Estimating Conference, but those minor adjustments, when spaced out, they do add up to some pretty big dollars. Cut 8.
They adjusted the forecast for next year by about $214 million. And then this year they increased by about $217 million.
So DeLatte says the increase in the tax collection projection is spearheaded by income taxes, despite the fact that the legislature lowered the income tax rates for all earners.
Personal income taxes, the collections are coming in higher than expected. Sales taxes are about on track for what they forecasted.
So we lowered income taxes, but we're not going to lose revenue? Is that what I'm understanding from that? Amazing. Now, the sales taxes did go up. That is true. But if we are going to see a pattern of, well, I shouldn't say a pattern. If we're going to see examples of tax cuts not affecting our coffers long term, then those tax cuts will continue and will accelerate. Look, I don't know about y'all, but I'm on this path to wanting no state income tax at all. I'm on this path wanting Louisiana to be in the same boat as, let's say, Florida, when it comes to battling for jobs, battling for those who want to build their companies here. Because if you can avoid the state income tax, that is a major feather in your cap for recruitment. Not to mention, it's a major feather in your cap every April when you go to file your taxes. But if the early returns are in, and the early returns say the Revenue Estimating Conference tells us we're going to actually earn more, even with this already in play, then I'm here for it. And when I say even with this already in play, bear in mind, they're looking at this year and this fiscal year and the next fiscal year. So I'm not just taking what's already in account. I'm taking what they're projecting as well. And I always say it, the Revenue Estimating Conference is, if you were drunk and blindfolded and trying to throw a dart, that's basically what they're tasked with doing. And somehow they find the target more often than not. Delat, by the way, says, while the income tax rate may have gone down, overall collections may have increased based on things like total earnings and how many people are employed. And that's a big thing. That is a huge thing. When we see the unemployment numbers, not just the unemployment numbers, but the real employment numbers, that is a big thing. So the amount of money that the governor and the legislature have to spend, it is limited by the REC because we do have to have a balanced budget when it's all said and done. But I love that the fact that those early returns are pointing us in the direction to say, keep going, eliminate that state income tax, keep moving in that direction. I will take that all day long, to be sure. To go along with that, by the way, one other note from Par. I got to pull this back up again. One other note from Par. Give me one quick second. Is no, I'm sorry, we're going to skip that story. My apologies, y'all. The other note for Par was looking forward towards the next session. Like, what are we starting to look forward to towards next year? It is far too early to put a button on that, though. So we're not going to focus it on that until we get a little bit closer. They have a few more webinars, till a few more people have a few more town hall meetings. We can gather enough information to start really looking forward towards what's to come from the Louisiana legislature, what's next, as it were. So, we got a break coming up in just a minute. Before we take that break, got to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Oh, you want to talk about how to look forward to the next legislative session? I'll be going to Washington Mardi Gras next month, and boots on the ground at that thing. You really get the inside scoop for where the state is headed and what the state wants to do. And I'll be getting there via the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Absolutely love the service. They have a direct flight to DC, leaves out every morning just before 7 o'clock. In fact, they should be wheels up right about now. Leaves out every morning just before 7 o'clock, comes back same evening. You can get your business done same day, round trip one day. Of course, if you want to stay over in the nation's capital, you could do that as well. But the point is, direct flight to and from gets you done over at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Look, if you're booking out your business travel for next year or your personal travel for next year, either way, give the Baton Rouge Metro Airport a look at flybtr.com. That is flybtr.com. We got a break coming up 30 seconds from right now. Just enough time for me to remind you that Talk 107.3 FM will close out your NFL week. Monday Night Football going to be coming your way tonight, right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Your home for Monday Night and Thursday Night Football all season long has been Talk 107.3. Tonight's game, as I scroll right on through, features the Dolphins at the Steelers. Going to close out the NFL week. You got the 6-7 Dolphins versus the 7-6 Steelers. So both teams backs against the wall if they want to make the playoffs, and you'll hear it right here. The news. Yeah, that works. You don't have to minimize that screen. You ingest from Adobe. What's the cart number for the news? Okay.
Yeah, I can't see it. So I'll just
All right.
fire it up out of here.
Yeah, no worries at all. But it's going to be loaded in there anyway, so you're going to have to either skip past it or hit play and mute it and play it at the same time. All right. Holy crap. A friend of mine from high school's son just got engaged. I don't.
Well, that's good news.
No, I don't need that shit in my life. It means I'm old.
He's old?
No, it means I'm old.
Oh, it means you're old.
All right, guys. We're okay. Oh, Kimberly. Wait, I knew you were in Covington, right?
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind. Run, run, Rudolph. Santa's gotta make it to town. Santa make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, 'cause I'm reeling like a merry-go-round. Said Santa to a boy child, what have you been longing for?
Okay, because I thought I heard traffic and then
All I want for Christmas is a
we
rock.
went from traffic to the bumper. Well, no, it's over with now. Yeah, it's there. All right. 652 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. I'm gonna have ABC News for you at the top of the hour. Man, a lot going on right now. A whole lot going on right now, not just nationwide but worldwide. As mass shooting in Australia, home of the tightest gun laws on the planet. Mass shooting at Brown University, and then Rob Reiner murdered, and his wife. Just a lot going on all over the globe. The ABC News will have it for you coming up at the top of the hour. In the meanwhile, it is time for, we got to get some imaging done on this.
I know.
I know we ran it as a test drive last week. We ran it out as a test drive. I thought it went well, so we're going to go back to it again. We're calling it Moral Dilemma Monday. Every Monday, we're going to have a topic. No right answers, no wrong answers, just looking for your feedback. Every Monday, we'll have a different topic where we dive in and answer a question or two. This week, asking the question, should HR give some grace or look the other way at the company Christmas party? You know, we got our company Christmas party coming up
we do.
Thursday. All right. So, were you at last year's?
I was.
Okay.
I'm going to say guarantees we're tame. I mean, we let loose and we cut up and we curse, but we're behaved folk.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the Christmas parties I've been to years ago.
Okay. You and I have both been in radio for a while. Like,
yeah.
Off in radio for a while. Radio Christmas parties used to be like insane.
Oh, I know.
Insane. Like limo bus down to the quarter and just cut loose.
Yep.
Like that's, which I think we could all look back on that in 2025 and be like, that might not have been the best of ideas. But,
correct.
But the question is, should HR give some grace or look the other way at the company Christmas party? And the follow-up question is, tell us your craziest Christmas party stories. You ever, have you ever seen someone get loose at the Christmas party? I don't mean like, Elaine dancing on Jerry Seinfeld's, remember Seinfeld?
Right.
Yeah, the horrible dance. I don't mean like that. Have you ever seen somebody like really lose it, either over the top drunk or the proverbial hookup?
Somebody's kissing somebody they're not supposed to be.
It's so
somebody who's married. Yeah,
these things have happened. And we're not going to out anybody by name or anything. Kim says over on the Facebook live chat, I remember at my old job in Covington, employees from the bank being called to HR the following Monday after the company Christmas party. That's got to be a rough scene, right? You go to the company Christmas party, you go home, you wake up the next morning, right? You wake up the next morning, you're like, what happened? Yeah. Yeah. And then the following Monday, you get that walk of shame. You get called into the principal's office.
Right.
That's no
and
good.
it's not
right
just
there.
one of you, it's like 5 of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the story, where I first got the story was from a site called HR Brew, which is basically just like a networking site for HR professionals. And I'm not in HR, but the headline was how HR can prepare for the company holiday party. Says 'tis the season to be jolly, just not too jolly, at least not at the company holiday party. Quote, ambulances had to be called. It was a whole thing.
What?
Said a talent culture and DEI consultant talking about a situation where an employee had a little too much to drink at their company Christmas party. Quote, that person fell down the stairs and I think broke a leg or something like that. Not a great scene.
Break a leg at the company Christmas party.
They got so drunk they fell down the stairs and broke their leg.
Oh my God.
So
no, mine was never like that. It was probably like 7 or 8 years ago, Brian. Once again, not outing names. Dude probably did some sort of drug.
Okay.
And that's and he's kissing on my now husband in the corner of the room, like kissing.
I'm sorry,
a man. And my husband looks at me, he runs up to me and he goes, so-and-so just kissed me. I'm like, you pushed him off of you, right? And he goes, yeah, I think he was just being friendly. But he started sticking his tongue down my throat. I said, say what?
What?
He doesn't remember it. I won't say the name. But years later, I brought it up again jokingly. And he goes, man, I blacked out 7 o'clock that night. I'm like, well, yeah. And he doesn't swing that way.
Well,
he does not. I swear.
He thinks he doesn't.
And so my now husband, we still bring that story up to this day. Yeah. And so that was at a radio company, Christmas radio. Hello.
Well, yeah, there it is again. And see, before radio, I worked in hotels, and I think about having a hotel.
Kimberly goes, what?
I know, right? I was not expecting he.
Yes.
And we got to talk about your husband's reaction time for a minute too.
Yeah. He looked at me and he goes, what? And he starts screaming. He pushes him off of him and he goes, no, bro. And he goes, but I love you, man. And he goes, yeah, I love you too, but not like that.
So the guy that was on the drug, yeah, the truth will set you free, boss. Like
they always say when you're drinking or doing drugs, the truth comes out.
The honesty comes out. It does. Yeah. It does. So
the hotel again?
Oh, yeah. So the thing about it is like if you work at a hotel and your hotel has the company Christmas party at the hotel, like in the ballroom or whatever, there's this side note to that where you've got a bunch of hotel rooms right there. So
oh no.
People will disappear. And
God, people that you love dear and true, and you're like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, and you see both their spouses still in the ballroom.
Stop! No.
Oh
with the
yeah,
spouse?
yeah. No. They're no, like, one will leave without their spouse, another will leave without their spouse. They're like, take room 120 off market. Off market. So if you take a room off market in hotels, that means like something's broken in the room, so they can't rent it to somebody. So like, yeah, take room 120 off market.
Oh,
and then like
my word.
Yeah, then it's like, where's Ted? Where's Jane? And I'm making up names, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's always an awkward. That was probably the most awkward scene I've ever seen.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
So should HR turn an eye? I say yes, Brian.
Okay. So let's talk because we've got about a minute and a half left. Why should HR turn a blind eye to it?
Just because the liquor is going to be flowing, even for a sober Christmas party, when you get colleagues together who spend a lot of time together, you start to appreciate each other. Most of the time, what is it? I think I read online, the number one relationship starter is in the workplace.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think HR should turn an eye. Just for one night. So Danielle Hill, turn an eye.
So I'm with you on this. Now I'm sure there are all kinds of legal liabilities and whatnot, but the truth of the matter is anybody can sue anybody for anything, anytime.
True.
So no matter what legal hurdles you want to go through, there's going to be some level of risk there at all, just for throwing the dadgum party in the first place.
Right.
But if you truly want your workspace, if you want your coworkers, if you want all the employees to be able to say like the workplace is a safe space, they got to be able to, when they clock out.
That's true.
When they clock out, not have repercussions when they clock back in.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's
Let's talk
true.
about it over on Facebook Live. On air, here comes news. Yeah. All right.
Kim, I can't believe so everybody for your company party, you all knew who was doing the walk of shame, correct? Walking into that office.
That's a tough beat. That is a tough beat.
I know exactly who I'm walking in with. She says, especially at the company.
What you say, Rich? Yeah.
Look at that chick. Excuse me.
What chick?
Sharon Moore girl.
Oh, my God.
No. You know the story, right?
Not much of it. I know, like, he was going to off himself.
No, forget about that, dude. She worked with my daughter. She was here in Baton Rouge before she went down over. She worked at the Blue Sparrow in Perkins Grove. She was here on an internship.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let me tell you something. In the SEC, any guy who does that, any coach, he ain't going to do a pair of butter knives.
No.
He's going to get against her.
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is that? A grown man going to her apartment, going to take his life, and he's got a pair of scissors, probably they used in pre-K,
Right.
to glue up something.
Little safety
And a
scissors.
butter knife.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't find a gumbo spoon to hit yourself on the head like a Hobson? What the hell is going on, man?
I don't know. How about the cartel finish in second for the Heisman? Holy shit.
What a piece of white trash he is. His mama, he's posting that F y'all. I mean, come on.
Wait.
He's working. You know, his mom is working in
is he-
Illusions right now in Woodville.
Is he white?
He's half. He's a half.
What
Piece of shit.
Yeah. Rolling up like some kind of half-ass UFC.
Dude, what about the student at LSU?
I ain't hear about this.
Dude, here's a student at LSU. He thinks he's meeting a girl, right?
Okay.
Thinks he's meeting a girl. It turns out to be a brother, a guy, okay? The guy says, I'm going to go ahead. They shared pictures because he thought it was a girl.
Okay.
So the guy goes, I'm going to post this unless you come to my place and have sex. He went to the dude's place and had sex in the shower. Dude, you got it. It's the craziest thing ever. And my dad was embarrassed because I didn't pay my parking tickets and I didn't study hard.
Wait, the guy said, you either come over and have sex with me or I'm going to tell people you had sex with me?
Right.
And he
And he
opted
went
to
over
have
there,
sex with him?
And then he turned the guy into the police for extortion after he had sex.
Nothing about that story makes sense. Who the fuck? Who does that?
Huh?
Who? I mean, at a certain point, he's got to look himself
My
in the
dad's mad
mirror.
at me 'cause it took me an extra semester to graduate.
Bro, this one,
Dude, that's amazing.
this is like he's got to look himself in the mirror and say, you know what?
Dude, you got to see. It's the craziest story I've ever seen.
Where was it? Where was
It
it?
was on BRZ
Okay.
over the weekend. Like LSU student extorted or whatever. Dude, it's the craziest thing ever, man.
Do what? Oh yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Somebody forgot to say kill the mice.
No. That was on purpose.
No, Brian will always tell me.
All right, I'll go back and look for this later.
'Kim.
.705 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. We are starting off the 7 o'clock hour, holding at 26 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Busy hour this hour. Of course, we got Medical Monday coming up in our next segment. 7:35. I'm looking forward to this conversation. The Louisiana Association of Business and Industry, specifically Patrick Robinson, who's going to be our guest. They had a sit down with Lee Zeldin from the EPA. A lot came from the conversation, and we're going to have the discussion about, being, the environment versus business. What is the, juxtaposition here? How do both work together? We're going to have that whole conversation at 7:35. Of course, we're broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio in downtown Baton Rouge. 180 Pros, not your IT provider. They are your IT partner. Before we get to anything else, though, we always start off your hour with top stories and trending.
The biggest stories, the breaking news, the headline makers.
I think something is happening.
Top stories and trending, presented by Baton Rouge Metro Airport, starts now on Talk 107.3. Number 5.
Happy Dunham Day today. Mayor President Sid Edwards has declared today as the Dunham School Day after Dunham's victory in the state championship. The win served as the program's first state title since 2004. The team was the only one I shouldn't say the only one from the Baton Rouge area, because I want to say Ascension Catholic. I shouldn't want to say. They did. I saw the buses. I saw the convoy. But the only one from within East Baton Rouge Parish to make it to the state title game this season.
Number 4.
2 Baton Rouge Christmas parades went off without a hitch yesterday. Downtown was the inaugural First Responders Parade. Meanwhile, at the very same time, I was over by the 29th Annual Jones Creek Area Business Association's Christmas on the Creek. Of course, rolling up Jones Creek from Coursey to Tiger Bend. Had over 70 units in the parade. That included Garrett Graves as the Grand Marshal. That included Santa Claus. That included the big Coca-Cola holiday truck.
Number 3.
The Louisiana Fire Chiefs Association announced funeral arrangements for former St. George Fire Chief Chucky Albert on Sunday. Albert's funeral will be held on December 16th at the St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Zachary. Visitation from 9 to noon. Mass will follow at noon.
Number 2.
Multiple protests against ICE and Border Patrol operations took place around the capital area Saturday. One of those was in Gonzales at the Ideal Market, where an arrest had been made. In Baton Rouge, protesters rallied in front of the state capitol building, calling for transparency from officials.
Number 1.
The Baton Rouge Police Department responded to a shooting that left one man injured on Saturday near Gus Young Avenue. According to authorities, it happened around 4:30 p.m. near Ragusa's Deli. One man was injured, struck in the foot. He's, of course, in stable condition, and it's believed that he wasn't the intended target.
Those are your top stories. It's time to see what's trending.
Okay. Yes, the person of interest that was arrested in connection with the shooting at Brown University was questioned and released, which means the suspect is still at large.
Yeah, the 2 people dead, 9 injured. Of the 9 injured, 1 has been released from the hospital, 8 are in stable condition, and 1 is in critical but stable. So hopefully the 2 that have passed are the only 2 that will pass from this.
And then I think in one of our ABC reports, they were saying a student who, and I forget what university she attended, but it was like 2 or 3 years ago, she was involved in that shooting on campus.
Really?
Yes. And
there was another shooting at Brown?
No. It was like a different, it started with an R, I believe. And so she was at that campus when that shooting happened. And now she attends Brown. And so just imagine, the trauma that poor girl or boy.
Oh, look. So there are times in life where your heart just goes out to people because it feels like that sort of thing follows them. I'll give you a great example. When Christy and I moved into our current house, we kept our old house as a rental in Old Jefferson. And the renters that were living there when the house flooded, lost everything in the flood. They only moved to Baton Rouge because they moved out of New Orleans after Katrina. I know. To go from Katrina, New Orleans to 11 years later, completely, they lost everything in Katrina. Right. And then 11 years later, lost everything again.
In the flood of 16.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. My God. All right. Director actor Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead Sunday at a Los Angeles home owned by Reiner. according to a law enforcement official briefed on the investigation and speaking on the condition of
anonymity.
Thank you.
I know it's too early on a Monday morning to break that sort of thing down. All right. This story is going to have layers to it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling because I've read 3 different stories on it. The one from the AP is the one that I'm leaning on the most. Investigators say they believe they suffered stab wounds, and a family member is being questioned by investigators.
Right. Yeah. And then Renee is saying People Magazine is reporting it was their son.
Right.
So we don't know. We don't know. It's an ongoing.
I don't like going down that path until we know for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
I know.
Just Rob Reiner. Who doesn't love Rob Reiner? Yes, I realize politically super liberal. Like I understand that.
Of course. But he's mega in Hollywood.
Meathead from All in the Family, the director of A Few Good Men.
Right.
Who didn't love This Is Spinal Tap? Like Rob,
I know.
I mean, just icon, absolute legend.
Right. On the pop culture, which is, it makes me laugh. Only 1 in 10 of us had a great year, according to a new survey from Talker Research. They spoke with about 2,000 Americans and found that the rest of us said it was either bad, awful, with about 39% admitting it was just okay.
You know, we live in a society that likes to bitch. That's just what we do. It's just what, like, half the people out there, you could tell them they just won the Powerball, and they'd be like, God, I got to drive down to the office.
Right.
I'm going to drive to the Powerball office. Like, it just doesn't matter what the good news is. They'll find the bad in it.
Here's the deal. Like, I'm driving to work this morning, not to go off the rabbit hole a little bit, but I get in and I'm like, God, my car's freezing. I'm like, oh, this sucks. And I'm like, but I have a car and I'm able to get to work. But here I am complaining that it's cold.
That's exactly right. You got a car with a heater.
Yeah.
And you're just feet away from a building that's pretty well heated as well. Like, it just, we take for granted what we have. We've got so much of it and this is the right time of year to be talking about this, to be sure. For us to like literally count our blessings. But you think about it though, like if you were polled today and you asked how your 2025 was.
I would say I'm now full-time at Guarantee Media. I get to produce you, Brian. I would say overall I had a great year.
I was gonna say it's mixed. Full-time good this show.
I know, and then the Michelle's like, you need to produce Brian's show. Oh, that sucks.
Well, but that's the trade-off, right? It's like you do have to be up before the sun's up.
But hey, I get off at 1:00 every day.
Exactly.
There you go.
So, I don't know. Like I look at my 2025 and I think it's pretty darn great.
I was going to say,
and more to the point, it's a precursor for 2026. And that's just my mentality is like this year's setting up a good next year. And next year's going to set up a better 2027.
There you go.
The motto in the Haldane house is always happy, never satisfied. So
I'm going to steal that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you like how that plays?
Yeah.
You can't change the past. You can't make the past better. But if you're never satisfied, you're going to be hungry for more.
There you go.
So, 713 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are due up for a quick break. When we come back, we got Medical Monday on the other side. He's calling in. It's live today. Yeah. It's like 7:25. Has it not been updated yet? Yeah. We don't have a bed or nothing, right? Just fire it up out of the building. Yeah. Oh man. Getting ready to add another partner to the show, by the way, with sponsors and whatnot. Today starts the day. Today starts the demolition. No. I'm getting ready to add another sponsor to the show. Today's demolition day. And by no later than the 23rd, Christy and I will have a brand new bathroom. Yes, one bath and closets. David Duvall, been talking with him, picking out all the tile, picking out the backsplash. Do what? Oh, well, I'm not gonna be there for 90% of it, but I'll do little like pop in, take 2 pictures, and pop back out, and do it day by day. That way, we see the progress every day. Probably should have taken some pictures before they got out this morning because this could be demolished by the time I get home. So, but well, no, she's already out the house too. Yeah, already in carpool. So, but yeah, David's gonna be there today. Oh. Yeah, David's gonna be there in about 15 minutes from right now. He said he'll be there by 7:30. I said the carport door will be open. Yep. There he is. .717 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. There we go. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is just about time for Medical Monday. In fact, yeah, let's go ahead and hit it. Medical Monday. It is time for Medical Monday, and today we're talking about sports medicine that's, well, not just for your elite athletes everywhere. Sports medicine often associated with elite athletes, but the same high-performance principles used on the field can help anyone stay active, recover from injuries, and live healthier lives. Today on Medical Monday, we're talking with Dr. Vincent Shaw, who's on board right now. Dr. Shaw, how are you?
I'm great. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well as well. So let's dive in. When we hear sports medicine, we often think about, the tent going up on the sideline at LSU football, but a lot of people might not know exactly what sports medicine is all about. So how do you describe your role and the care you provide?
In simplest terms, a lot of people would consider the type of sports medicine myself and my partner's practice as non-operative ortho, but it's a little bit more encompassing than that. It also includes nutrition. It includes some segments of rehab, as well as exercise prescription and lifestyle planning.
Okay, that's a lot to dive in on right there. I tell you what, before we dive in on any of those, you do also care for LSU student athletes. So what kind of injuries or conditions do you commonly see among athletes?
Oh, it's a lot of musculoskeletal complaints, but we also have a lot of concussions. We also deal with behavioral health as well of our athletes. And so it's all encompassing for the athlete. So a lot of times it's more of those chronic muscular complaints that they have, those injuries that can kind of be nagging, that doesn't necessarily need surgery, but needs some tender loving care.
How do we know, stepping away from the student athlete? Because I mean, obviously, if it's somebody who's either on scholarship to perform on the field or as a professional athlete, obviously they want to get everything taken care of. But step outside of the student athlete world and just go to to those of us who are out there who might have those nagging injuries. How do we know when's the right time to cross that threshold and actually call somebody about it?
Gotcha. So what we kind of sometimes refer to as the weekend warrior, like ourselves, those injuries that are sort of nagging more than what you can do at home, more than the ibuprofen, the icing, taking some time off. If they're there for a week to 2 weeks and they don't seem to be getting any better, that's time when you should start referring to a sports medicine physician to try and see what's going on, to try and get those ailments corrected so that you can return to your level of activity.
We're talking with Dr. Vincent Shaw about sports medicine overall. Let's talk about treatment strategies and some of the training approaches used with LSU athletes and actually how they trickle down to the rest of us.
Right. So some of the same modalities that we use on our elite athletes are the same modalities that we use, or treatments that we use on everyday or weekend warriors. Those same rehab protocols, if you hurt your knee, you hurt your back, those same exercises that we use on the athletes are the same exercises we use. If there are certain injections that we do on the athletes, we do those same injections on our patients in the clinic, and some of the same assessments that we do in terms of ultrasound treatments and the like. We do those both in the clinic with our elite athletes as well as those with our patients in our clinic.
Dr. Shaw, I want to talk about, if we could, when we talk about sports medicine being just for athletes, what does it take to cross that threshold to let everyone know that, we all have a skeleton, we all have muscles, we all have ailments as a result of those. What does it take to translate sports medicine to the everyday person?
So for the everyday person, again, you hit it right on the head. Everyone has the same basic makeup as an elite athlete. It's just they train at a higher level, whereas we are at home picking up boxes, moving things around for the holidays. You may get an ache or a pain in the back. The same ache and pain that you have is what those athletes have. And so because you have those aches and pains, that's the times that you need to come and see a sports medicine physician, because you have the exact same makeup as that elite athlete. It's just that you're not training at that same level.
Right. It's just, I think when the term sports is in there, it's, I could throw my back out with a good sneeze. So it's not really, doesn't feel very athletic at the end of the day. Let's talk a little bit about injury prevention. That's a big part of what you do. And I think this is going to go back to the nutrition end of what you do, and making sure, folks are right on the front end. So let's talk about prevention. What everyday habits or techniques can help people stay active and avoid injuries?
So the number one thing is for folks to remain active in terms of movement. Movement is one of the key things. A lot of us sit at a desk, at a computer, and we're essentially keyboard athletes at this point. So we've got to start thinking about posture and taking time to move during the day and stretching. So there are certain stretches that you can talk with a sports medicine physician about, that you can do both at the desk and remove yourself away from the desk to remain flexible and to try to prevent those injuries from occurring, as well as when you decide to become more active, especially after the holidays, when you start making those resolutions. It's a good time to see a physician and make sure that your health is there and that you can do those activities that you're planning on doing.
How important is it to have like intervals throughout the day? Because I know a lot of people, they'll go to work, they'll sit down at their desk, they'll be at their desk for a good 5 hours, they'll get up for a half-hour lunch, they'll sit back down for another 4 or 5 hours, then they'll hit the gym on the way home, and that 45 minutes of the gym doesn't counter everything else throughout the day. How important is it to make sure you have regular intervals where you're just up and moving?
So it's extremely important, because if you're sitting in that desk all day and you're not moving and you're not breaking up that cycle where the body is having a tendency to become more tense and in a position that it's not should normally be in, you need to break that up. And those intervals are cumulative. So if you break it up into a couple of 5-10-minute intervals throughout the day, all of that is actually cumulative in terms of movement and the ability to remain healthy. So intervals are very important throughout the day, and it doesn't have to be a long interval. Something as quick as a 2 to 5 minute walk around the office can break up a whole lot of the problems that begin with sitting for a prolonged period.
We got Dr. Vincent Shaw on with us. This is Medical Monday, presented by the folks over at Our Lady of the Lake. Great partnership that we have with Our Lady of the Lake, as they have the same partnership with LSU, taking care of a number of the best athletes around, and that translates all the way down to us. Dr. Shaw, I want to revisit that part about nutrition that you mentioned. You mentioned nutrition, you mentioned meal planning. How does that play into sports medicine?
So with regards to sports medicine, nutrition is very important, because if you don't adequately fuel the body with proper nutrition, then it's very hard for us to try to get you back to that state that you want to be in. Sort of a colloquial saying is, you can't out-train a bad diet. So we can't put together a house with a bad foundation. So living in Louisiana is a little bit tough, but making some right choices throughout the day makes it a lot easier for your body to heal itself. So adequate protein, carbohydrates, and the like will actually help make sure that your body is fueled up, so that if and when you have an injury, you can heal a lot faster.
How does that dovetail with, the fad diets and whatnot? How does that dovetail with what we're told, if somebody wants to go after, let's just say like an Atkins or a carnivore diet, that sort of thing? How do you make sure you're still getting everything you need?
So that's where we start looking at the level of activity that you have and what each of those diets entails, like the carnivore diet or the paleo diet. Those things are really sort of extreme. And the question is, are they maintainable and suitable for, your lifestyle and what you want to do? So yes, the fad diets have a place and a time, but working with a physician who's knowledgeable can make sure that you are adequately utilizing those diets and making sure that it's a complete nutritional diet that you have, and it's geared for your lifestyle.
The flip one right there would be all those GLP-1s that we're hearing about these days, which just curb your appetite, basically. Your body does need fuel. How does that manage with, making sure you're getting enough fuel? If you can't drive cross country if you're only putting 1 gallon of gas in the tank.
This is true. So with regards to the weight loss medicines, the GLP-1s, when we work with those patients who are utilizing those for weight loss, we have to look at what their needs are, especially with protein, because you're going to cut the amount of food that you're eating. Mm-hmm. So we've got to make sure you've got enough proteins and carbohydrates, especially of the complex variety, so that you can still fuel your body, but you're just limiting the amount of calories that you're taking. And so you want high quality nutrients coming in.
Got just a couple minutes left with Dr. Vincent Shaw. I asked you a little bit earlier about, when do you pull the trigger to see somebody? I kind of want to revisit that if we could, because I'm sure there are a number of people out there dealing with those everyday pains or recovering from an injury. So let's talk about the right time to make the call here, as we're actually approaching the end of the year. I mean, we kind of want to start 2026 off right.
Right. So again, if it's something that's been nagging you, you're out there playing pickleball and you have an injury and you're like, okay, I'm going to wait. If it's been about 2 weeks and that hasn't improved at all or significantly improved to get you back to the level you were playing before, it's time to see a sports medicine physician. If there's a limitation on what you can do with regards to activity, if before the holidays you were moving and then you started putting up decorations and all of a sudden you're having difficulty raising that arm, where it's interfering with your everyday activities, it's time to see a sports medicine physician. And then before you want to engage in any significant amount of lifestyle change, like you want to start exercising and getting out there and getting ready to run your first marathon, 5K, participate in a new exercise regimen, if you've got any injuries or complaints you want to get evaluated prior to starting out, with your physician, and especially if it's muscular or there's a question about your health habits, getting with a sports medicine physician.
Last one before we get you out of here, and that is, how can folks get a hold of you if they need to?
So, with regards to getting a hold of me, if you go
or anybody on the sports medicine team,
anybody on the sports medicine team, if you just refer to the FMOL website at Our Lady of the Lake, you can find us easily by searching out sports medicine physicians in the search bar for Our Lady of the Lake physicians.
He is Dr. Vincent Shaw from Our Lady of the Lake. We appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one. 7:30 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are due up for news. We'll start with ABC before hitting our local news, traffic, and weather. That's all coming your way.
Another is raising them. Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple has approved a rate decrease of 7.5% on average for both Sure Choice underwriters and Elevate. Temple says this is a testament that the insurance reforms passed by the legislature are working.
We're able to make some meaningful property reforms, and we're starting to see the results of that.
However, Temple says that unfortunately, State Farm is raising homeowners insurance rates by an average of 10%. Temple says State Farm.
All right, well, I'm going to take Doc's advice. I'm going to get up and walk around for a minute.
The company's projecting higher future losses due to hurricanes. Louisiana has more money to spend. The Public Affairs Research Council's Melinda Delat says it's the result of higher than expected tax collections.
They adjusted the forecast for next year by about $214 million. And then this year they increased by about $217 million.
How the extra money will be spent will be decided by lawmakers during next year's regular session. Of the 8 Prep Classic championship games, the Division II select title game will live on in Louisiana high school football folklore forever. Andrew Greenstein looks back at Friday night's wild finish.
With just 35 seconds left, St. Charles Catholic was an extra point away from tying the game at 21. Our very own Jeff Palermo had the call on the LHSAA network.
He missed it! Missed it wide left!
So all Archbishop Shaw had to do was kneel on the ball and run out the clock. But then
a Shaw player took off his helmet thinking that was the ball game.
Nope, can't do that.
Unsportsmanlike. Number 50 on the offense.
But there was something even more consequential than that 15-yard penalty.
St. Charles will be giving back their timeout.
That meant Shaw could no longer run out the clock.
tell Rocco no more knickknacks.
I know, look how much crap you got.
They got mad at me for getting rid of the hat. I don't want the damn hat. Yeah, no more knickknacks. But like everything up on those shelves has a story behind it, like that relates to the show. Yeah, I don't know what I can't. I know. Yeah, that's what we need. More shit. More room for more shit. 737. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Every Monday at about this time, we speak with the folks from the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. This week, we're going to welcome on Patrick Robinson. He wears a number of hats over there at LABI. He's the Vice President of Government Relations, but he's also the Director of Energy and Environmental Quality, which is what we're talking about today. Good morning, Patrick. Welcome back. How are you, man?
I'm good, Brian. How you doing?
Doing very well. As a follow-up, and those that follow me on Facebook already have seen the picture. As a follow-up to Thursday night's Golden Gala from LABI, did we ever find out who was wearing the gold suit?
We did not. There are rumors out there, some of which have been at least supported by certain representatives, but I'm not venturing a guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, this could go pretty high up the food chain, as I understand it.
They say.
That's they say is right. We're not. By the way, fantastic event. LABI celebrating their 50th anniversary. The Golden Gala Thursday night could not have come off better. That was fantastic.
It was fantastic, and Taylor Andress is our events planner. Did a fantastic job getting all that together. My job was to get there and welcome people for about 15 minutes, and then be sure the bar was serving appropriately. So a great event. I had a great time. I hope you did as well.
I test drove the bar a couple times as well. It was a great night overall. With the Capitol and the backdrop all lit up, all red and green for Christmas. I mean, could not have been better.
Perfect environment.
Yep. So you had to sit down with Lee Zeldin. Tell me about it.
I did, and I'll give you a little bit of context. You talking about my hats. I'm just a poor old country workers' comp lawyer from Northwest Louisiana. And a couple of months ago, Will Green, who you and your listeners know is our president and CEO, asked me to jump into another role as a director of our Energy and Environmental Quality Issues Council, which is a fabulous tie-in to the workers' comp and workforce stuff that I've done, just because energy and is such a huge part of our economy. It provides so many jobs. So I was really excited to assume that role. That said, I will tell you the last couple of months has been drinking through a fire hose on this, because as much as you grow up in Louisiana, as much as you know that energy is a huge part of our culture and our economy, when you get into it and you dig into the details of it, you see just how big it is, how many jobs it provides, how much it generates in tax revenue. It is a ton of information and a fantastic sector to be involved in. I'm really excited to be part of it. This particular opportunity, I'll tell you, you give me another 10 years and I may start to understand it at the level that some of these industry folks do.
Right.
But a week or so, well, 2 weeks ago now, Ty Bofferding, who's with Lamoga, and I say a new guy, he doesn't feel like a new guy, feels like he's been there a while. But Ty worked in Washington for a while, and some folks at EPA reached out to him and asked about setting up a roundtable discussion with the EPA administrator, Lee Zeldin. And so that is what we do is create those opportunities for our members and for the business community to interact and engage with leadership. And so we were excited to do that, jumped at it. It was on short notice, and I will tell you, when you try to get a bunch of CEOs together on 2 days' notice, it's an effort. But because of this opportunity, the chance to meet with the administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, we were able to get 10 really experienced, really knowledgeable folks at a table in New Orleans. The office was provided by our member, the Lisco law firm, and had a great discussion at the first Friday of December. So fantastic opportunity.
Let's talk about the nature of that discussion. Well, you know what? I want to talk a little bit about the nature of the discussion, but also the length of the discussion as well, because this is one thing that we're learning more and more about the Trump administration with different departments. When they dig in, they dig in.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what was cool to me was, as I looked into this, and of course I'm familiar with Lee Zeldin, but did some more research in preparation for this, and what was really fun for me was, that Friday he was talking with us. The Monday leading into that week, he was sitting at a table at the White House in a cabinet meeting talking to President Trump. So from the start of the week with the president and finish up with us was kind of cool.
Right.
Beyond that, when he came in, it was something that his staff allowed an hour for, and they said, we got to be out in an hour. As we got into it with the administrator, he said, look, if y'all need more time, I want to hear what your issues are. I want to hear how your engagement with EPA is. So a meeting that was scheduled for 60 minutes, he added an additional 30 onto that and gave everybody at the table the opportunity to make their observations, answer some questions, things that were really important to making the discussion move forward.
All right, now let's get into the discussion. What was the nature of the discussion? What did y'all have to say? What did he have to say?
Well, it's one of the impressive things about the administrator is that it's a guy coming in. He's been in this job for a year, less than a year, and I'll tell you that you give me another 10 years, I may have some glimmer of understanding of this industry. The administrator came in ready to talk about issues. He is a smart guy. He's engaged not only with government, but the issues that his agency deals with, the concerns of the energy industry. Very familiar with all those and very able to speak at a high level to the folks that were around the table. One of the things he kind of started out with was coming into this role, taking over from the prior administration. He wants to ensure that there's a balance, not only between EPA's responsibility for conservation, for clean water, for clean air, but making sure that works well with the equally important goal of economic growth and economic opportunity. And that is something that he really emphasized throughout this discussion.
Okay, so walk me through what the balance looks like there, because he is with the Environmental Protection Agency, but he's not with the, put up a wall to where industry can't come across it industry. I mean, or agency, I should say. So walk me through that balance and how he approaches it.
Well, here's one of the takeaways I took from it, or I got from it, Brian, was that he emphasized on a number of occasions that that role, that responsibility to ensure that we're doing the things we need to do on the conservation front. That is certainly always going to be primarily with that agency. Mm-hmm. But there's that other tie-in of how important are the products that the oil and gas industry produces, the chemical industry. What role do those play in everybody's life every day? I'm sitting here talking to you on a phone that could not be made without the products that those folks make. I'm going to drive to my office in a little while with using gas that we produce in Louisiana. It is one of he emphasized that we got to do a better job of marketing. We have to let people know that business and industry are not the enemy. They are the vehicles to economic growth, to opportunity, to doing all these things that we do in our modern society and letting us live the life that we live.
Patrick Robinson from the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry is our guest. Talking a little bit about his meeting with Lee Zeldin from who heads up the EPA. Okay, now, Patrick, if you could pivot that over towards how does he make sure he's still protecting the environment, not just rubber stamping what industry wants?
One of the things he talked about when he came in was eliminating backlogs. He said when he came into the agency, there were a lot of backlogs. What stood out to me about that discussion was that he said, we're adding people. And it wasn't just people. It's not just paper pushers he's talking about adding. He emphasized we're adding scientists. And I think that's the key when you're looking at what that agency does. It is making sure that when they, if they need to delay a project because of environmental concerns, it's being done because of scientific reasons, and you're looking at scientific solutions so that a project, a facility, the LNG projects that we're seeing in Louisiana these days, that those are doing what they are intended to do in terms of maximizing economic growth, but doing it with a minimal footprint or minimal adverse footprint on the environment, and that's something that he emphasized repeatedly.
You mentioned expediting the permit process, or I should say clearing out the backlog. How big is the backlog, especially here in Louisiana?
Well, I will tell you in terms of numbers on that, that's not something that came up in the discussion, and it's something that, like I say, ask me in 10 years, and I may have a better answer for you. Yeah. I know that it is something that when we look at projects, you're talking about years in the bureaucratic administrative process. Beyond that, you get into potential litigation that delays projects more and more. So I think what he's looking at is a process that expedites that bureaucracy side, and then addresses, allows people that have legal concerns about a project to address them, but does that in an expeditious manner so that you're not unnecessarily delaying projects that are going to be a benefit to our economy, our society, provide jobs, all those things.
Talk to me a little bit about the role of public comment, because I think this is one that gets, when we get bogged down in bureaucracy, this is something that gets overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. It's one of the things that I think people are not as familiar with as they should be, is that all of these regulatory processes, whatever agency, almost down to the man, they are going to provide an opportunity when they change a rule, when they change a process, oftentimes when they just change a form, to let the public come in on whatever side you are on and make your comments. One of the things we see sometimes is that on the business side, you will have people who make comments, but sometimes it's folks like me on the governmental affairs side. What we need to see more on the public comment side is from an individual level of people who are working within the industry, who depend on these industries for their jobs, who really beyond that, even when you have a facility that's going to bring economic growth to a region, people that operate hotels and restaurants that are going to benefit by more business coming their way. Those people need to step up to the table and make their voice heard, so that regulators and officials are aware that they support projects that are going to bring growth to their area.
He is Patrick Robinson from the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. Were you given any follow-up? Did he give you any homework?
He didn't give me homework, Brian, other than to continue studying this stuff and learn a lot more about it. I think with our members, the folks that are engaging with EPA regularly, he did tell them to be sure to continue and stay in touch with the agency. Like I said, he was very receptive to their thoughts. As a matter of fact, they raised some points in terms of process that's kind of beyond my knowledge. They say, I wasn't aware of that. That's important. And he would tell his team sitting on the end of the table, write that down. Let's follow up on that. So I think he took home some homework to do and follow up with our folks on. And then addresses, a lot of the things that we see sometimes is that They likewise, I think, had homework to go back with their teams and the nuts and bolts of processes with EPA. Be sure that those are working well. One of the attendees said, we have this new rule, and I'd be lying to you if I tell you I'm familiar with a particular rule, but said there's this new rule and we are working to accommodate it. But I'm gonna tell you that our people don't really think it has the value that you all do. And he was very willing to look at that and consider that if it's a process that doesn't have any value, let's get rid of the process and find something else that accomplishes that goal.
Right? I mean, common sense, or at least it would feel so as such. Patrick Robinson, appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Thank you for hopping on board.
Brian, thanks so much. Have a great day.
You do the same. We are rolling over 750 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're going to take a quick break. We are going to check traffic. Just as a quick reminder, he mentioned Lamoga. Tommy Fauché from Lamoga is going to join us tomorrow morning to talk about lease sales. Quick break. We'll be back at it next. Oh, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yes. This was December 13th. What the deuce? There it is. Okay. Can't help it. Get 3 hours sleep at night. I'm going to yawn. Yeah. The wife and I, Friday nights are tequila and Blue Bloods, or Boston Blue now. Blue Bloods is over with, but we'll drink a couple ranch waters and watch our show on. Yeah, so lame.
I've been watching that Love and Death. The damn Candy Montgomery and Betty Gore out of Texas.
No clue. No clue. No, Blue Bloods was a staple on Friday night forever. And now the spinoff is Boston Blue. Boston. That was a really good segment. Happy with that. Shit. Instrumental or words to it?
Smack that all on the floor.
Yeah, because you don't know where we're going in this segment because I didn't write it down.
Oh God.
Yeah, but this is going to be oddly appropriate.
My bad, B.
It's all right. Condon hit me up with a story earlier that I had to learn a little bit more about. This was from our news partners at WBRZ. They posted up over the weekend. LSU's police department arrested a man on December 5th for extorting an LSU student using explicit photos and videos. By the way, if kids aren't at school yet, this is probably not for them. Just a quick little, heads up. 3, 2, 1. Make sure the kids aren't listening. They should be at school already. According to arrest records, an LSU student filed a complaint with LSU PD on November 23rd, saying that he met someone whom he believed to be female on social media. After the two shared explicit photos, the student learned that the person he had shared photos with was actually a male, 23-year-old Juwan Wright. The student claimed that Wright allegedly began threatening to release the explicit photos of the student to his family and friends unless the two had relations. Sexual relations. Out of fear, here we go. You ready for this? Out of fear of the photos being released, the student allegedly slept with Wright, after which Wright allegedly began emailing the student and his mother with random messages from a burner account. Wright also allegedly extorted the student, requesting $250 through Apple Pay. The student told police that on November 22nd, Wright allegedly messaged him and his mother a video of the student naked in Wright's shower. The student claimed he was unaware that Wright had been recording him. Wright was arrested on charges of extortion and non-consensual disclosure of a private image. Let's go back up to the part of the story. The student claimed that Wright allegedly began threatening to release the explicit photos of the student to his family and friends unless the two had sex.
I am so sorry. I played Akon coming back into the break.
It's so oddly appropriate. So this dude said, I got a naked photo of you. And either we're going to get down or I'm going to put this photo out there. So he went over to dude's house. They smushed. And then it led to more trouble. And $250 on Apple Pay. That part gets me, by the way.
What? On Apple Pay.
On Apple
not
Pay.
Venmo,
No.
not cash,
No,
Apple
he's
Pay.
not on the Cash App. He's not Venmo. Definitely not PayPal. But it was either they needed to smush or he was going to put out the naked pictures. So he went over to dude's house. Dude who you already know is going to use everything that you have against you. You engaged in intercourse with someone who is, if you were seeking a female in the first place, one would have to assume that is not how he swings. And yet he swung.
And he engaged again. It's the thing. Knowing that he has all the dirt on you.
He engaged in sent them the dirty picture, which, by the way, everybody needs to be out of the dirty picture game. I don't know that sending nudes has ever led to anything good. I don't know. But you send the guy the picture, the guy says, I'm going to show somebody else the picture unless you come over here. And how do you, student or not, young or not, how do you not see that coming? How do you, oh yeah, I'll just go over there. We'll smush and everything will be good. Like that. First of all, no. How about no? How about no? Like, but the thought that this was going to have a happy ending in any way, well, that's poor terminology. The thought that this was going to end well in any way, shape, or form, I'm baffled from start to finish. Here's news. My clock was frozen. We're 40 seconds late.
That's okay.
So I need, from time to time, I need like a 1 minute from you.
Yes. Sounds good.
By the way, I'm now behind on live reads because I didn't want to associate 180 Pros with that topic. from the other day. Yeah. Starving. All right. This day in history. Oh, I'm cold. It is. I don't know. I have a space heater upstairs in my office from World War II. The no, I'll go get it during the next break because it bumps to be sure. Oh. .806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. We are at 28 degrees to start off the 8 o'clock hour. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio in downtown Baton Rouge. 180 Pros. Actually, let me take a quick minute to tell you about the folks over at 180 Pros. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. And it does actually mean something different. Your IT provider, well, when you need them, you call them and they'll get around to it. They'll get out there. I'm sure they could fix your IT to put your network back up and running. When you have an IT partner, what you're going to have is a relationship where you're going to get same-day response time. And more than that, it's just your overall success is how they base their success. Not on nickel and diming you through some line item of an invoice that has, a million different random charges within it. They have simplified billing, one-page billing. They are local. They are right here in Baton Rouge. 225-330-2200 is the phone number. 225-330-2200. You call them, you're going to get somebody who's right here in Baton Rouge. And like I said, they base their success off of your success. It is a partnership. So is it time for your IT to do a 180? Visit 180pros.com. All right, it is time for This Day in History. Let's roll.
All right.
Yes.
Going all the way back to 1791, the U.S. Bill of Rights is ratified and becomes Amendments 1 through 10 of the U.S. Constitution.
Yep. Most of them are good, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
1840, Napoleon Bonaparte receives a French state funeral in Paris 19 years after his death.
Really? 19 years
19 years. They're like, all right, let's throw this man a funeral finally.
Time to keep somebody on the shelf like that. Okay.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Let me skip down. 1939, Gone with the Wind. It won Best Picture in 1940, highest grossing film of all time.
Today was the premiere in Atlanta, correct?
Yes. Yeah, the premiere in Atlanta that year. Okay. 1955, Folsom Prison Blues. The single was released by the one and only Johnny Cash.
All right.
1961, Dr. King, Martin Luther King Jr. joins over 500 civil rights demonstrators in jail, arrested for protesting in Albany, Georgia.
Okay.
1961, U.S. President JFK and Jacqueline Kennedy visits Puerto Rico. That was the last official sitting presidential visit until Barack Obama in 2011.
Interesting.
Let's see, 1979, the Trivial Pursuit game was created that year.
Really?
And it's a family favorite in our house.
Is it? Everybody hates it in our house.
Oh, I love it.
Well,
I can see
I've
that.
got some game, so it gets like lopsided very quickly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
1977, the 49ers retired Joe Montana's number 16.
Okay.
Skipping on down, 2006, American blues legend B.B. King was awarded the Presidential Medal of Honor by President George W. Bush.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
And then 2011, Barry Bonds is sentenced to 30 days of house arrest.
Oh, wow. How did I not have that one? Well, also, this day in 2019, the Oakland Raiders played their last game as the Oakland Raiders.
Before they came to Vegas.
Raiders. Well, they went back to LA, then Vegas.
Yep. All right. Birthdays. Adam Brody, 45 this year. He's on that, gosh, it's that movie on Netflix right now. With Brittany Snow. Is it Brittany Snow? Regardless, he turns 45 today. Camellia Luddington, 41. She is in Grey's Anatomy. Charlie Cox is 42.
Got a couple more to add to that list right there. J. Paul Getty's in that mix. American industrialist J. Paul Getty. Also want to add boxer Jack Dempsey.
Have him.
From the baseball world, you got Art Howe and Mo Vaughn. Did you have Dave Clark in there?
No,
Dave Clark is 86 years old today.
Bless
also, Sonny Crockett.
How did I miss that? How old is he today?
76 years old.
Okay. For
Nash Bridges.
Okay.
I need to stop naming characters. This actor Don Johnson's birthday.
And for deaths, the only one I got is Walt Disney in 1966.
Okay. Well,
passed away of lung cancer.
He can have the day to himself then because he's Walt Disney.
Right. And National Day today, National Cupcake Day, Brian. And my favorite cupcake ever would be the, from Rouse's. What is it? The berry It's what everybody loves, chantilly.
On a cupcake?
Oh, yeah, they made the chantilly cupcakes.
All right, that is your look at this day in history, which is brought to you every day by the folks over at 5 Star Printing and Signs. Printshop5.com is the website if you want to check them out. Printshop5.com. 271-4096 is their phone number. Danny and his team pride themselves on being able to work with you, collaborate with you, make sure that your signage within your building, make sure that your signage outside your building, make sure that every time that you're putting your name on something, it's grabbing someone's attention. Otherwise, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, you're out of sight, out of mind. If you hand someone your business card and they don't go full Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, you're not getting your job done. And by the way, merchandising, unbelievably important right now. Slapping your logo on everything from a Yeti mug to wrapping your vehicle, they get it done. Printshop5.com. All right, you got Moon's number? Printer right quick. I should not be this hungry at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like I don't eat breakfast ever, but like I'm starving this morning. Yeah, right. Yeah, I could go for some chicken and sausage gumbo this morning. I need seafood gumbo in my life. I haven't had a good bowl of seafood gumbo in like over a year. Everybody does chicken and sausage now. I grew up on like crab and gumbo shrimp. You know, gumbo shrimp or the little shrimp? Crab and gumbo shrimp and oysters. And okra. What happened to putting okra in your gumbo? Oh. 816 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Quick reminder about the folks over at Breck. Yeah, I know. You don't wake up on a Monday morning to 28 degrees outside and start thinking about going out to a Breck Park. No. They've got everything you need, whether it comes to the facilities they have outdoors or indoors as well. Check out Breck.org. Learn all about their facilities, all about the classes they offer, whether you want to take a line dancing class, a pottery class, just getting out together and exercising with other folks. They've got it all for you at Breck.org. Holiday camps. I don't want to say it's not too late to get in on holiday camps, but they do offer those as well. Learn more at Breck.org. Joining us now, as he does every Monday, we got Moon Griffon on the hotline. How are you, brother?
Brian, I'm doing good, man. How you been? We're getting a little closer to maybe Santa will bring me something this year. The cold I've been getting every year ain't been too good. But
well,
hopefully this will be a year. Hopefully this will be a year I break out.
Well, the thing of it is, though, is like now you can do something with the coal. You know, in the Biden administration, you just had to sit on it. You couldn't do anything with the coal. So
you had to bury it.
Right. So, oh my goodness, are you looking at slowing down anytime? We were having this discussion earlier, Moon. It feels like this year, the holiday season is just not here yet, man. Things are still running at full speed.
Yeah, you know, the political, I call it turmoil from Louisiana to the federal government just seems to never stop. Seems like there's always another issue. You know, they're battling the budget. They're battling health care now. All these subsidies that are ridiculous, but now we're battling that at the end of the year. That goes away. And so it seems like there's something out there that takes the day almost every single day. And I think you're correct. No, I'm gonna go hard till next Tuesday. And then, God, Lord willing, I'm going to try to get off until January 5th. I like that time of the year to get away from it all.
Yeah.
Listenership changes a pretty good bit toward the end of the year. So it's the time of year I try to get away a little bit.
So, I'm doing the same thing. I'll roll through next Tuesday and then pack it in. I might come back on January 2nd just to start the year off, get that one day under my belt so that it's I'm not knocking the cobwebs out on the 5th.
You know, it's funny. It's funny, though, when I was building this, I wouldn't take off much time. Now, and when I took off too much time, it aggravated me when I got back because I said, "Why did I take all this time off?" Now, being a little older, I enjoy every second being away, and I love when I come back too. So
Moon,
it kind of works out really good.
Moon, I'm going to end the year with a full month worth of PTO that's going to be unused. Like 200 hours worth of PTO that's just going to. Well, I get to roll some of it over to next year, I'm sure, but no, that's my New Year's resolution going into next year is take the time. Guarantee does a great job of making sure that we have time that we can take. And dadgummit, I need to do it next year.
Well, that's good. I up to about 2 years ago, Brian, I only took about 15 days a year, which is 3 weeks.
Okay.
I'm taking about 21, 22, 23 days now. And I'll be honest, I've been in the business 32, 33 years. So I've been asking around. They all get 5 or 6 weeks off. And I thought, I need to probably take a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I have taken a little bit more, but I won't take any more than I'm taking now. I feel like if you got your name attached to a show, and you do too, just as much as me, you feel like you need to be there.
Same.
I feel like I need to be on there every possible day I can possibly be on during the course of the year. And that's just the way I approach my job. Not that people got to listen to me. If I worked for you and was not on the radio, I would approach that job the same way. I would say, you know what, I need to be there every day I can be there.
Absolutely. We're talking with Moon Griffon. We do have a little bit of business to tend to today, Moon. Taking it up to Capitol Hill. Looks like the House is going to take a whack at healthcare before closing up shop for the year. You think they're going to get anywhere?
I've always said the Republicans will probably give in. I think what you're going to see, let's say they make a deal. Let's me and you say they make a deal. It's going to probably put another year of subsidies.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats want 3 years. The Republicans want nothing. They normally fall in between. The other reason that the Republicans will give in is that, first of all, that's what they do. But number two is I think they'll give in because they don't want that to be an issue going into next year's election. So to remove the issue, they got to do something for at least a year. And I think that's what you're going to see. So, yeah, I'm going to be shocked if they don't get something done on some kind of deal that they come together. The problem is Democrats don't want that deal because they want this to be an issue in next year's election.
Right.
The biggest problem, though, Brian, the Democrats, if you look at Obamacare, straight up Obamacare, 100% Democrats' fault. The subsidies, 100% Democrats' fault. But they do a good job with the help of the media to make it sound like, look at the problem of the Republicans. And the Republicans don't seem to ever have a plan. So that's where you are right now in Washington.
Well, and here's the thing, like Senator Cassidy took a pretty decent swing at a real plan last week, but could not get the alignment behind it, could not get everybody on board with it. So he comes up short with that. But he put his name on something. He put his name on something, put it out there for better or for worse.
I didn't have a problem with what Bill Cassidy was doing. I don't like the subsidies and adding the subsidies back in, but somebody had to take a shot. That's why he sits in a position.
Right.
I never thought he could get the votes, and he didn't get them, but that's really not on him. That's more to do with the way the Senate is broke down. So I think effort is fine, but I do think they'll make a deal. If they don't make a deal, then they're going to beat up the Republicans all next year. And unfortunately, people that are on the subsidies, and I mean at the marketplace of Obamacare buying their policies for $200 or $300 a month, they don't care who else is paying the rest as long as they ain't got to pay it. Meanwhile, Brian, January 1st, I'm going to pay $3,703.13 for mine because I'm not on the subsidies, and I'm paying out the wazoo for somebody else, I guess, because mine is almost getting to be unaffordable to me.
Well, almost.
Well, what I mean by almost is I can still eat, and me and my bride's done by the grace of God, did a pretty good job of making sure we don't really have any debt.
Right.
If you throw in 2 car notes and or maybe some other loan or whatever, or a high credit card bill and a house note, then all of a sudden we wouldn't be paying it either.
We're talking with Moon Griffon as we do every Sunday. You'll catch Moon weekdays 9 to 11 right here on Talk 107.3 FM, and honestly, you'll catch him anywhere statewide 9 to 11. Hey, Moon, if we could pivot real quick, I want to bring it back home into Louisiana. We had a story in news this morning from our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network. It looks like the Revenue Estimating Conference has told our state that we got a little bit more money to spend both this fiscal year and next. And this is while we've scaled back the state income tax. And yeah, it's been countered with a little bit of sales taxes on the back end. But how refreshing is it to see income tax drop and revenue rise?
Yeah, and to some people, they felt, I always thought it was a tax swap that we did a few years ago, Brian. And I always thought, now I'm going to say this, and you correct me. I called it from day one. I thought it was a tax increase. You look at, and let me tell you when I say that. Remember, it was 1 cent. Edwards and them had put 1 cent on, including Republicans.
Yeah.
Then they brought it back. They brought it back down to 0.45 for 7 years.
Right.
That was supposed to come off the books. And what Governor Landry and the legislature did was they took that was coming off the books and made it 1 cent. Some people would argue, well, it only went up 0.55, but the bottom line was that was a 7-year deal that should have went away. So they added the 1 cent, which brought in $1.2 billion. And I always thought that income taxes and some of the business tax cuts didn't equal the amount of sales taxes they were going to get in. And I was right. I thought it was overall tax increase. Now, is it a big tax increase? No, but I thought it was a tax increase. And most people, you probably like that, and a lot of people, I would rather pay less income taxes and more to sales tax, which becomes more of a consumption tax.
Well,
I
yeah.
always thought it was a tax increase, but it is more money to the state. I just wish people had more money in their pockets. They're getting that money from somewhere, Brian, and it's the way people are spending their money.
Well, it's the Laffer curve is what it is. You get more money by bulk when you do it that way. And yeah, when you look at the basic numbers of it, it's an increase because it's a trade-off of one form of tax for another. But Moon, I don't know about you, but I like being able to be in control to say, like, if you're going to tax my income, I have no control over how much I give back to the government. If you tax my consumption, I absolutely do. I don't have to buy, different products at different times of the year because if I don't want to pay the taxes on it, I just won't buy it. So it puts me in control of it.
I'm 100% agreement with you, but I don't think it should be sold as some big tax decrease. I think it ought to be sold for what it is. It was a tax swap, and the state was going to get more revenue. But that doesn't sell with a lot of people. But that's what I always called it. I called it from day one, and I think that's what happened. Now, as far as the state having more money, that's fine. I just want to make sure you and me have more money. You are correct, though. If you had a choice between somebody's taking your money before you get it,
right,
or I get to decide where I spend the money, I would always choose the latter.
Yeah, it's just I want control of my own destiny. That's the whole thing.
If you look at the state though, Brian, as a whole, we don't mind paying high sales tax because we pay the highest in the country and nobody's complaining about it. So we don't mind paying higher sales tax.
What? So, but I guess the flip side of that though is the working poor. The sales tax hits them the hardest. It's regressive for the working poor.
Yes, it is. But remember, we don't just have working poor here. We got middle class and working class and people like that, and that's what they decided to do. It will hit you more than the working poor in this aspect. You're going to pay more taxes. They're not going to pay as much, but if they pay a bigger percentage of their money to taxes. So it depends on how you look at it. You know, we made it easy to be poor here too, Ron. We got every program known to mankind, and that's why I keep saying job creation and changing the job models are what's the most important thing in our state.
Well, let me go back to the top of the page though, and then ask you the question in this regard. Do you think seeing the numbers that we're seeing, it's an encouragement, or it will encourage the legislature to double down and get rid of the rest of the income tax?
Well, I would hope so. I was told that the reason they set it up like they did was in the future we were going to cut the income tax. I mean, that's what we were told. Brian, you interview probably more people than I do. And they told you the same thing. I promise you, well, if we do this now, this will set up in the future for us to start getting rid of that income tax.
Yeah.
Well, let's see the next step, Brian. You got to take the next step. And since they've got these numbers, will they go take another step, another bite at the apple? Remember, last section, I want to say Julie Emerson had a bill to do away. It might not have been Julie, but I thought it was, to lower the income tax some more, and it didn't move too fast. They didn't even get a vote on it. And if they did, they got in the House and not in the Senate. I don't remember exactly what happened to the bill. So there was a movement last session, and it didn't move anything. Maybe these numbers will encourage them, Brian. Maybe you have a great point.
That's the hope right there. Is you look at the revenue, and you don't want to be too drastic. That's the whole point of conservatism, is not to be too drastic in either direction. So you look at the numbers where we're at, and if you say we got a flat 3%, revenue's still good, let's take that down to a flat 2% for next year, and then 1%, and then they eventually down to 0%. But you do it progressive, or you do it in increments.
Yeah, one of the situations that I like to see improve in the state is we take a step, quote, in the right direction. I hate the term.
I know you do.
The reason I hate the term, Brian, is because we never take the second, or third, or fourth step. So in other words, when you take a step in the right direction, you go, wow, we're working that way. We'll continue working that way.
Right.
That was always my, just continue working that way. Don't stop now.
Well, I think we have a legislature right now that sees that long-term, that end game, that long-term goal, and they know it takes more than one step. And meanwhile, what you got on the show today?
Judicial hellhole. I laughed because somebody sent me a picture of 1940s of Grand Isle. You're talking about all this climate change and we're losing all these football fields. But you know, in Grand Isle, Highway 1 still have as much land to the right, as much land to the left as it's always had. And it's amazing how that thing, after hurricane is rebuilt and everything looks the same. So we've got that. And I got Liz Murr on with what's going on in New Orleans and illegals, immigration. We'll talk to her.
I need to line her up. I got follow up on that one as well. In the meanwhile, you catch Moon and Griffon weekdays 9 to 11 right here and statewide. Moon, always appreciate the time. We're gonna see you Thursday at the Guarantee Party, right?
Me and my lovely bride will be there.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. We can't wait to see you. Have a good show today. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Brian. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. 8:30 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Don't forget. I already teased it in the first hour. Don't forget LSU women's basketball hosting Morgan State tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. your start time, which means we're going to preempt the last half hour of Moon to bring you the pregame for LSU women's basketball tomorrow. Here comes news. Who? Really? Oh. I have not. I mean, I got the questions from Alan. So.
Oh yeah, and I brought you a copy. I mean, I know this is what you do for a living. You're a pro, but
I think what you've got is probably.
or whatever, you know. This is going to be different. It's the same, but I just had it in a nice format for you. 3 pages. First page is front and back.
Yeah, I'm gonna change up the intro a little bit. But
Yeah, for sure. No. It's just yeah. You're the pro. You know, it's just. Is this being filmed, recorded?
It's on Facebook Live and YouTube Live.
Okay.
So if you wanted to pull it individually later on, you're more than welcome to it.
Okay. I didn't know if I was actually being filmed. So I have done a few podcasts before.
Mhm.
I'm not a professional in this.
It's live radio. And it's gonna be 13 minutes start to finish.
Okay.
Thereabouts. It'll be over before you know it. It's.
Yeah.
I've done a little background, a little bit of prep, a very little bit of prep. So.
Yeah, it's full of neon. As long as it don't, you know.
Well, so see that green light right there? Yeah. That's the camera, and it's dark in there and light in here. So it's just apparently it takes a lot to light me properly. I don't know.
Silence. When is this hitting like the 1037, 1073? Like somebody can tune in the frequency and hear it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going live.
Yes.
Louisiana's unprecedented coastal litigation has secured the number 4 spot on the National Judicial Hellholes list. These lawsuits target our job-creating energy industry, pursuing retroactive damages for activities conducted decades ago. It's a glaring example of what's wrong with Louisiana's legal climate. This overreach by trial lawyers sends the wrong message to current and future investors and cements our reputation as one of the worst places to do business in the country. Louisiana needs jobs, not lawsuits. Learn more at judicialhellholes.org.
I've got to smash through a live read on the way back in. So eat up like 60 seconds. That's about it. Yeah, it's gotten progressively colder in here, like since the start of the show. It's like I don't know, like but it. almost as if the air is on.
I love it.
Blow whistle. 837 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We are going to be, over the next week and a half or so, having a number of we're just going to call them get right segments. Looking into 2026, you got a number of people going to be mapping out their New Year's resolutions, but like, are you in place? Are you ready to take on those New Year's resolutions? For example, if getting more fit is one of your New Year's resolutions, having like back pain is going to be a hindrance to that. We're going to dive into that in 60 seconds. Do need to remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. LandmarkBankLA.com. If you've listened to the show for any length of time, you already know how much I value the folks over at Landmark Bank, because I value a banker, a member of your community. When you have a neighborhood bank, a community bank, you have a banker, someone that you see in line at the grocery store, someone that you see in carpool line or at the gym or wherever. You have someone who can relate to you, someone who knows you, someone you could sit down with, talk about your wants, needs, dreams, and desires. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 30 years? When do you need to borrow money to buy a house or buy a new car or make your way through life as life comes at you, and it comes at you fast? Having a banker is all the difference. LandmarkBankLA.com. Get locations, get hours, learn more about services at LandmarkBankLA.com. So yeah, we're going to have a number of get right segments around here. And I want to talk about back pain today. So joining us today, Dr. Silas Jennings, Regional Clinics Director for The Joint. He's helped thousands of patients shift from pain-based care to proactive wellness care. Today, we're going to be talking about how back pain has been the most pervasive physical condition in modern society. I mean, it affects a lot of folks out there. And what can we do to change that going into 2026? Dr. Jennings, good morning. Welcome to Talk 107.3. How are you?
Doing great. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So everybody's in a great mood and everything's going great.
Let's talk a little bit about back pain. Very, very common. We've all heard how common it is, but just how big of a problem is it really?
Well, right now, back pain is the leading cause of disability worldwide. It's the number 3 leading diagnosis that exists. That's behind hypertension or high blood pressure and high cholesterol.
Okay.
Yeah. So very, very common. Like you said, the most pervasive physical condition in modern society. What it does, it's sidelining people from work, from their fitness goals, from sleep quality, from just productivity and daily life, quality of life. So
let's walk down that path, because I think all these things, they do dovetail together. All these things do make their way into in the same circle on the Venn diagram, because yeah, if you've got back pain, you're not going to sleep as well. If you don't sleep as well, you're going to be more groggy and tired throughout the day. If you're more groggy and tired throughout the day, odds are you're going to eat more just to stay fueled up. You're going to eat more. So that's going to lead to worse health conditions overall, less desire to actually get out there and get fit because of the pain and whatnot. It's just all these things circle in together.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about the causes or what? Let me rephrase that.
That's a good question.
The cause, like, how do we first come across like developing back pain?
Well, a lot of people think that back pain comes from some kind of traumatic event. They'll try to rationalize it. Well, I fell off a trampoline when I was 10 or something like that. And I'm like, look, you're 40 years old right now. Like that was 30 years ago. But It really comes from the daily habits. What are we doing day to day? So our body's very capable of making a lot of adaptations to keep us out of pain, and then it's just all of a sudden it can hit you like a ton of bricks.
What kind of day-to-day habits are the bad ones?
I would say that passive sitting right now is like what vodka is to alcoholism, sitting is to low back pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, that kind of follows along with where I wanted to go next, and that's as the regional clinics director for the Joint Chiropractic. What trends are you seeing heading into 2026 that concern you?
That pain is the really only motive to get patients in the clinic, right? Some
Okay.
sort of pain, discomfort, whatever the case may be. It's some kind of complaint.
So if not pain being a motivator, what else would be a motivator?
Just overall health and quality of life.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All those things that we mentioned from the outset there about the fitness goals, work productivity, sleep, those kinds of things that impact your quality of life.
We're talking with Dr. Silas Jennings from the Joint Chiropractic. Now, y'all have a unique business model. Let's talk about it a little bit. Explain how it works and why it matters for public health.
Absolutely. So the mission statement for the Joint, our mission is to improve quality of life through routine and affordable chiropractic care. So we're trying to supply chiropractic care to the masses, right? There's almost 1,000 clinics throughout the United States currently. And so it's quite ubiquitous. You don't have to schedule. You don't have to make an appointment. It's walk-in friendly. There's no insurance barriers. And it's an affordable membership model.
Membership model,
absolutely.
Okay. Follow up on that. What does that look like?
So our most popular product that we have is called a wellness plan, and that gives patients 4 visits a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like where this is going because, like, as folks are heading into 2026, and New Year's resolutions are a thing. Getting fit, getting healthier is always at the top of the list right there. So I would imagine membership would be just the perfect alignment, if you will.
Yeah, and it holds them accountable.
Yeah,
it holds them accountable too, to make those visits and stay consistent with their goals and their outcomes.
Well, it goes back to what you were talking about before about visiting without hurting.
Right.
Those two things work well together. Is if you have a membership, like you said, if you have a membership, you already know you're on the clock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the 4 visits, so take them, use them.
Absolutely. And if their sole focus is only on pain, and then chiropractic's incredibly effective for the people that it's very safe for. So if they're only focusing on pain, it's easy to get them out of pain, and sometimes 4 to 6 visits. So if they stop the care after that, they can relapse and be right back where they started. So if we don't address those underlying issues and correct those daily habits that we talked about, postural imbalances, that sort of thing, they can revert right back to having the same issue. So
I think it's natural that most of us would associate chiropractic with pain.
Right.
But
it's
you're
very
saying
common.
that's kind of a misunderstanding there.
It's the low-hanging fruit.
Tell me why it's a misunderstanding.
Because we're nervous system based, right?
Go on.
Yeah. So we want to regulate people's nervous system. There's a lot of great data on calming the sympathetic tone of our nervous system. Like the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for our fight or flight. So we mentioned people having trouble sleeping, that sort of thing. We're constantly burn out. So regulating the nervous system is the true grail of what chiropractic can offer.
How did you come? Okay, so how did you make this leap here? I'm fascinated by it because, like, I'm one of the ones that would associate chiropractic with pain.
Yeah,
if I have back pain, I need to see a chiropractor and get straight. But like, what you're telling me is opening up all kinds of things that would like involve stress relief, anxiety relief. Like, it's just you're in a completely different realm here. How'd you walk down? How'd you find this path?
So this is a wellness path, and in our practice, it is very wellness driven. Always the first goal is to mitigate pain and symptoms. But like I said, the grail of what we want to accomplish is, when patients are coming in and say, man, I haven't been able to lift my grandkids, I haven't been able to sleep,
right?
That's where we both win. Getting you out of pain was just the first step.
Right. See, it's like I'm one that like I'm at the gym probably 4 or 5 days a week. Okay, I try to exercise as much as I can because I know my diet, my sleep habits are awful. So I counterbalance that by going to the gym.
Okay.
And like I'm one that will put in the work while I'm at the gym, but like I'll wake up hurting just like anybody else.
Yeah.
So
and you think it's normal,
right?
Mhm.
But it's not.
No.
Unreal.
No, it's not normal to hurt.
It's. But I'm so used to it.
Yeah, I know. Everyone is.
We got about 2 minutes left with Dr. Silas Jennings. For someone listening who's nervous about getting adjusted, ease their fears a little bit. Tell me what walk us through it.
Okay, well, stay off of the TikTok videos, number one. Stay off of the Instagram reels. The barbaric cracking videos, the loud, that deters a lot of people. Although, I mean, I think it's trying to get chiropractic out there, but you kind of take away, the what patients are coming in for, their loss of quality of life. So adjustments are designed to be gentle, they're tailored, they're very safe. Chiropractors always examine and assess first.
Yeah.
Right. We're not just popping and praying. We're not just cracking stuff just for the fun of it. There's a lot of purpose and intent behind what we're trying to do.
So the popping and praying, that sounds like that's a phrase that's been around for a while that you're trying to dispel on a daily basis.
Right. Absolutely.
One thing you wish more people knew about spinal health as we're rolling into the new year. Teach us a little bit.
Well, the spine is the foundation for everything you want to do. It's if you want to lift, you want to run, you want to sleep, you want to recover, you want to perform in any capacity at all.
Mhm.
The spine is the foundation for that, and you don't have to be in pain to benefit from the health benefits of chiropractic.
When I do get in the gym, it's like I want to work my core. I
Yeah.
feel like the spine is the core of the core, right?
Yeah, it's your back core.
Right.
Yeah.
So unbelievable. Where can folks go if they want to learn more?
So we have 3 available clinics in the greater Baton Rouge area.
Mhm.
We have Gonzales, that's our newest clinic. It's on Highway 30, right down from the Tanger outlets. And we have our Denham Springs location on Jubin Road.
Okay.
And of course, we have the OG Segan Lane in between 10 and 12.
Okay. And if you want to just start off online, it's thejoint.com.
Thejoint.com. Yeah.
Thejoint.com.
Chiropractic.
He is Dr. Silas Jennings. Man, I appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Thank you for hopping on board.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We're coming up on 850 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're going to check your money now. We will check traffic on the back end of the break. We will come back, close it out with the outside in. That's coming your way next, right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Right now, let's go ahead and get that check of your money now. Easy peasy. Good stuff. Very well. Very well. That was awesome. So yeah, because what I was said was just the questions. Your answers opened me up to so many other questions, which is awesome. It's conversational, and yeah, but like that's not where I thought any of it was going when I was reading the questions. I was honestly walking in thinking, this is.
I didn't, like you may have never even heard of chiropractic before, so it's just like, okay, what do I ask? I wanted to be able to help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't
So,
want you to feel like you're reading from
well,
a
I
script.
no, and I knew about like the end of it was the you want more subtle adjustments on a more regular basis. You want to make sure everything's aligned and whatnot. I never, even after reading all this, I never thought like going in without pain, just as a maintenance, just as routine, just as the same way. You don't like, I'm trying to think.
You
of
don't
the right
wait till you
comp.
have a cavity before you go to the dentist.
Correct.
you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
that sort of
great,
thing.
great comp right there.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
well, yes, good stuff.
That's fun.
You were like, stay off the TikTok. It's true though, because I see and then the woman's in pain when she gets up off the bed. And I think they're doing that for dramatization. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely nail on the head.
As a human, I'm going to one, but let's say I never have been to one. I would
Right.
go, if you know
Right.
what I mean.
Yeah. A lot of apprehension comes from
Or
that.
the damn cat videos, the cat chiropractor. Have you been seeing that? Where the cat's in pain and they.
I've been
A cat
seeing.
chiropractor?
Yes.
Holy
and
God.
and the cat's meowing, and all of a sudden he like. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I haven't seen that. Seen a lot of barbaric stuff on the internet though.
Oh, I would imagine.
Did y'all need anything else from me?
Not that I know of. I
Okay.
think we're solid.
If I want to look at this, what we did.
Talk 107.3. As soon as the show's over with, the Facebook Live will reset. It'll be up there for about
Talk 107.3.
Yeah, the audio of the segment
Oh,
will be
nice.
posted on the website as well. We'll have Ellen send it to Ellen. She'll get it where it needs to go. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Hey, it's great to meet you guys. I really appreciate
Likewise.
you having me.
Appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Get all my stuff out of here. Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
You do the same. Thank you.
Oh, you're late. You're late.
I know, right?
Later. Thank you. All right. I'm very glad that didn't come off infomercially. Yeah. So, they're a new advertiser. Yes, from a sponsored content. So they're going to be running spots, but that was the introduction. Yeah. That's what I'm supposed to be good at. So thank you. You what? I'm in about 10 of them. It should be illegal to it should be illegal to like posts in a group chat. Because everybody is going to get the alert that somebody liked the post. And if there's 10 people in the chat, that's 10 alerts going to 10 people. Thank you. Yeah. But like that, like I feel like I'm supposed to respond so that she knows I got it. Like signing a receipt,
So I'm assuming we may run into the LRN issue again. I'll just have it ready to print tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't know what this
Well, let Cade know about it. Let Cade know that it wasn't ingesting, and he, maybe he can hit reset on something if settings aren't off or whatever. $8:56 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Bree Lynn's cracking herself up with her dog Carol's over there.
I love it.
That's yes.
You have
We're-
me now.
No,
JP.
no, I understand. I understand. We're gonna do some Louisiana Christmas music as we get closer
True.
to to Christmas Day and
Like
whatnot.
Aaron Neville, Louisiana Christmas Day.
My all-time favorite Christmas song is Aaron Neville's
I
Louisiana
love
Christmas
it.
Day.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It is.
All right.
And Fats Domino's version of Frosty, Trombone Shorty's Oh Holy Night.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. We'll do some Louisiana stuff as we get closer. Hey, got to remind you about Industry Makes, a campaign born out of collaboration and the need to present a united industrial front in the face of coordinated anti-industrial messaging. We were talking about this with Patrick Robinson from the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry as he's coming out of a good sit down with Lee Zeldin from the EPA. That message right there needs to ring true to this message right here. And that is, business as an industry is not the enemy of the environment, and business and industry is the friend of making sure we're all employed, making sure this nation runs, making sure we have the products and services that keep us running. And having that coordinated message from Industry Makes, industrymakes.org, industrymakes.org is the website. Having that coordinated message is unbelievably important. And as they say at Industry Makes, let others make noise. We'll make everything else. We've got, 2 minutes left? This is going to be an interesting off season for politics, y'all, because 2025 we didn't have any office elections, at least no major ones throughout the state. And as we roll into 2026, we've seen thus far 5 seats within the state legislature are now up for grabs. More turnover is hitting the state legislature. I'm grabbing this one from Jeremy Alford's column at La Politics, which was shared up on the Daily Report on Friday. State Representative Troy Romero of Jennings resigned from his post last week, bringing the number of open seats in the House and Senate to 5. The other seats in play, former reps Jason Hughes and Matt Willard. They've both been recently elected to the New Orleans City Council. Seats that were formerly held by Senator Joseph Bowie of New Orleans and now leading Southern University New Orleans. And former rep Chad Brown of Plaquemine, he's out as well. So we are going to have a freshman class in the state legislature that is not necessarily a freshman class. They're not coming along with any of the other freshmen here. We're going to have 5 newbies over there to mix in with those who have just gotten their feet wet. Going to be interesting to see how it plays out. By the way, we'll see February, I believe, with a runoff in March for the open seats. And if I'm not mistaken, the turnaround time to get back to work is not that long because next year's legislative session, the 2026 legislative session, is going to be an early one. So we'll keep our eyes open for it as we move forward. In the meanwhile, we got to get out of here. Moon Griffon is next. We will see you tomorrow. All right, guys, we got to bounce. I got a whole show to put together because I'm way behind the 8 ball. We'll see y'all tomorrow.